Hi, my name is Natalie, and I'm here with 4 other girls. They are,
Zoe,
Brisa, Gabby,
and Gianna.
and we are currently 6th grade students, and we want to give some ideas of what we think of the junior high. What do y'all like about being in junior high?
I like that everyone is so kind and helpful and that others are or were struggling as much as we all were when school first started.
I am happy because I am in junior high, and I'm glad I'm here. Yeah.
Honestly, I think I might have to go with Zoe too.
What I like about junior high is probably the principal. He's very helpful, and the counselors. But I've heard that Coach Sotak might be the new principal, and that's a rumor, so I don't know if that's true. But I like almost all the teachers.
Yeah,
So-
I'm going along with that too, Bree.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm sad that the principal that we have now is going to be leaving, which that's a bust.
What I like about being in junior high is I like that we get to spend time with all of our friends, and it kind of gets us away from our family, so we don't have to deal with them all the time. So what do y'all think that we could do better for the junior high?
I think that it would be better if we got better menu items for lunch because, the food is good and all, but, we definitely need to change the breakfast menu items.
I think we should change. Okay. Well, I think it's better. I think that we hang out with our friends and other classes. Yeah, that's it.
What I think could be better for the junior high is we could... No, we can't. But what I like better at the junior high is that it there's a lot of I think we could improve the building itself and make it a little bit better as a junior high building first off. So
We need to pause. We need to stop and do this.
well, Zoe, I can't. So what do y'all think could be better for the junior high?
I believe that it would be better if we got better menu items for lunch because the food is good and all, but they definitely need to change the breakfast items because barely anybody likes it, and they only have two main things and then off and on things every day. So that's one thing.
I think that the junior high should have more teachers because sometimes teachers get sick and a lot of them don't have substitutes, so other teachers from other classes have to come and substitute the kids. So I think that should be better, and the food, like Zoe said.
So what I think could be better for the junior high is we could improve the building or improve classes and do different class periods. Because to be honest, I don't want to just sit here and do academics the entire day. I would like a little break, but lunches are only little break, and that's only 35 minutes, less than a class period.
What I think would be better for the junior high is that to get more coaches, because it's only just Coach Menifee, and there's two
Boys coach.
two boys coach and one girl coach, but sometimes Miss Walker comes. That's why I think that.
I think what would be better for the junior high would be 10-minute breaks like we did on the Mystery Mania thing, where they would give you a 10-minute break to go to the concession stand, or just sit around in the cafeteria or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do have something to comment on that. So there's this thing that we have at school afternoons on the second Tuesday of every month, and it's called PTO. we have brought that up, having concessions during lunch and like at breakfast time. The only thing it is we're not allowed to because it's against the state regulations. So yeah, that's one thing I would have changed, but
So why is it against the state regulations?
you have to talk to Dr. Lowry about that.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Why won't they at least let us have like 5-minute breaks? At least.
What do you mean 5-minute breaks?
Like you were saying.
Like between each class period?
Yes.
They do. That's
No.
where you could like use the restroom, you get water.
That's only to get to class, but like extra 5 more minutes.
Like probably during class.
That's because
Yeah.
they want all the schools to end at a relatively the same time.
So the buses can come by and pick everybody up at a certain time.
Because if you were to say this, the buses have to go pick up the junior high kids before they can pick up the other kids. So, question 3. What do you dislike about Ferris Junior High?
One thing that I dislike about Ferris Junior High is the mandatory dress code, and I don't like that it is mandatory and we have to wear belts.
Okay, so why don't you like the mandatory dress code?
Because it's mandatory and they basically what they're doing since it's mandatory is they are forcing us to do this. And if we don't, we either get detention, ISS, reading enrichment, things like that.
Okay.
The thing I like about Ferris Junior High.
Something you dislike.
Something I dislike about Ferris Junior High is that we have to wear belts and how sometimes kids just get in trouble because other kids did that. And I just don't think that's fair. for
Okay,
other
so
kids.
why don't you think that's fair to students?
So, because sometimes kids do something bad and blame it on someone else, and that's why I think it's not fair.
Okay.
Anybody else?
What I dislike about Ferris Junior High is that I'm basically saying what Zoe said, but all I don't like is the belts. Because, like, if you, like, scratch it on your back or, like, you don't have your shirt tucked in, it can, like, scratch your back and, like, make a mark.
Okay.
One thing I dislike about Ferris Junior High is like the ID badges or like the like Zoe said the mandatory dress code.
Okay, so why don't you like the ID badges?
Cause like it's like cause a plastic thing.
Okay.
You know, if it breaks, you need to buy another one. It's for like $5, and then like if you lose your ID, you have to go to reading enrichment.
Okay. Is there a way that they could make that better?
And I have something to comment on that. And still, if you buy it for $5, then they still won't give it to you right then and there. It takes like a long, like 3 at most weeks to get it.
Okay, to lead on to our next question, what would you like to change about the Ferris Junior High?
I would like to change the dress code for one. One thing I would change about it is, the dress code, I would like to change like the belts, IDs, things like that. And another thing that I would change is the food with PTO money because they have a lot extra that they're putting in for us. Like the Lotteria night, which happened yesterday. They have some money going in for the field day, things like that. I would like to put some PTO money in for the food. I think that would have a big old change.
Okay, so why would you change the ID badges? Because the ID badges are only supposed to be there so that if, say, you know what happened last time when the fire alarm was pulled? It's so that the police officers can come up and they can say, oh, are you part of Ferris Junior High? And so they know, and you can just show them, and they know what the Ferris Junior High badge is supposed to look like.
Yeah, but what I want to change about it is like the casing and everything.
Okay.
Like all of us have a plastic casing, and most of them have to get a new one because it's like either ripped or anything. I wish that we could have like either a leather or like one that's encased.
Yeah.
The thing I would change about Ferris Junior High is the badges. Because some girls in pre-athletics always take them off to do the workout. And they lose them. And they get in trouble. And I feel like that's not fair.
Okay, so do we all agree we don't like the name badges?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, so let's go on to our next question. What would you like to change if you were the principal?
One thing that I would change if I were the principal is the food and cut the dress code, because there would be restrictions on what you can and cannot wear. Like, you can't wear crop tops, bikinis, and
Yeah,
things
that's
like
basically why a dress code is in place.
that.
Yeah.
but
Now,
like-
they could lighten up on it and say, yeah,
Yeah.
you can wear sweatpants and
And-
jeans.
and like
and-
a different color shirt, because
I understand if you were able to wear a Ferris colored shirt, but it having to have a colored neck or it has to be a spirit shirt is
Yeah.
nuts.
it's just too much that they're doing just to enforce like restrictions on it. But I would just lighten up the dress code and stuff like that.
Okay.
So what about
Anybody
you,
else?
Lisa?
The thing if I were the principal of Ferris Junior High, I would change the dress code.
Okay. So you want the dress code to change.
Yes, because
Same.
sometimes the teachers can't bring the jeans
Yeah.
because it's not jean day or something like that, and I feel like that's not fair. I feel like that's not fair.
Risa.
I feel like that's not fair.
Okay, so you want the dress code to change,
Yeah.
basically.
Anybody else want the dress code to change? Say aye. Aye.
Okay, let's go on to the next question. What would you do if you had too many students for the junior high? So basically, what would you decide that you were going to do if, say, we had 500 students in the junior high, but then we got another 500 coming from fourth grade or from fifth grade? What would you do?
I would build another building near the softball courts, because nobody really goes over there. Only like people for softball and everything. I would just like convert at least one of the fields, because there's 2 fields. I would at least convert one of the fields into like another like mini buildings.
Yeah. Bree?
what I would do is like clean out rooms that aren't being used for like some periods, and like starting off with Zoe said, how to like make another building. That would be good, because like we're gonna have more students next year, because like McDonald and Lilangelo, they both share the same grades.
So, say we have 500 students. We're already at max capacity as a district. We don't have enough students. Okay, Brisa? Sorry.
Okay, so what I would do would I agree with Zoe and Brianna.
Okay.
I would do
Okay, so all of us agree on what they just said.
yeah.
Okay, next question. So what would you change about the dress code that would still be appropriate? What would you change from the dress code to where it's still appropriate?
Gianna, how about you go?
Okay. What I would change about the dress code is probably just sweats and probably Crocs.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
Zoe?
that.
Yeah, me too.
I agree with Gianna.
Brisa?
Yes. I
What
agree.
about
Bree?
What about Bree?
I was like, what I would change is like, cause what if you have like comfy like jackets or hoodies at home, and like
And they're not the color that the school provides?
it's not the color, so like you gotta wear some like some of the Ferris Junior High jackets, in my opinion, are scratchy, and like sometimes they hurt, and so like
Okay, so does everybody agree on what we just said?
Yes. Can I add something?
Yeah.
I agree with Bree, but what happens if it's a school day and we don't have any more shirts or sweaters of the same color, and we bring another different shirt? We're gonna get in trouble.
Okay,
What
so
could we do in
let's go ahead and move on to the next question. What would you change about the food they serve here at the Ferris Junior High? Just one simple word.
I would like to change the variety of food that they have.
Okay, so the variety.
And the concession chips and sweets that they sell also.
Okay. Everybody agree on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Probably I'd change like the taste, like
Okay.
the bean burrito.
Yeah.
If you would change one elective, what would it be? What elective would be in its place? Brianna?
If I could change one elective, that would be like math, cause like I adore math, but like I would switch it up with probably like band or something. But like my band's in second period, so that's not possible.
Okay. Bree? Zoe? Sorry.
So this is for next year, but they aren't having any debate. And if I could, I would put debate in for one of my electives if they were to be having it next year.
Brisa?
Well, I would change classes. I agree with Zoe and Bree.
Okay. If you could change one thing about the classes and the times, what would it be? Bree?
If I were to change something about the times of the classes, I would change it. I would change the change that I would make is I would add 25 minutes to each class so the day would go by shorter. And we would possibly have recess or like fun activities.
What I would
Okay,
change.
next person?
What I would change about like one thing of the classes and the time would be like 10-minute passing periods, so like we could like do all our necessities, because like in pre-athletics, when we get out of pre-athletics and go to advisory, it's like very, very short. So when we get out of class, like the bell rings before it.
Yeah. So, Brisa?
So I think that in advisory we should at least have like some free time. So those 45 minutes or less that we have in advisory, I think the teacher should change that to just like free time for us, because most of the whole day we just work and work.
Yeah.
And that's mostly the only time we don't work, unless we actually do have to work. And
Okay, so you want the like have advisory as like a free time for us.
Yeah, mostly. And also, I feel like advisory should be at least some free play that we can just roam around the school for those minutes.
So something that I would like to change of the classes and the time is I would like to shorten the class periods, because I feel
Kinda
like
how I said,
it's kind of like it's too long for this. So this is our podcast about preteen talk. We hope you like it, and tune in next week where we will have more questions that we need answers to. These are the preteens signing off. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.